Welcome to The Bark. I'm Michael Terzakis.
And I'm Matthew Sherwin. Today, we'll be getting into all things basketball and taking a look at the upcoming NFL Combine, which is happening at Lucas Oil Stadium this week. Let's get into it.
We are just 17 days away from Selection Sunday, one of the most exciting days in the college basketball season. Bubble teams around the country will be watching anxiously on their couch to see whether they're going to be in the NCAA tournament or watching it from their couch. The Big East has no shortage of bubble teams right now, with 5 teams currently sitting on the bubble watch according to Joe Lunardi's bracketology. Let's break down each of those 5 Big East teams and their resumes.
Let's start this off with the Seton Hall Pirates, who are currently projected in the last 4 in, according to Joe Lunardi of ESPN. The Pirates have shined in Big East play with an 11-6 record in the conference and an 18-10 record overall. The Pirates have been able to work their way back into NCAA tournament conversations by beating Big East powerhouses in UConn and Marquette and coming away with good road wins against Providence, Butler, and St. John's. Barring anything substantial, I think the Pirates have earned their way back into the field of 68 for the first time under head coach Shaheen Holloway. Next, we have the Providence Friars, who are also projected in the last 4 in according to Lunardi. Despite losing Bryce Hopkins early in the year to a torn ACL, the Friars have stayed relevant with a 9-8 record in the Big East. The Friars have beat 2 top 15 teams in Marquette and Creighton and have also picked up good road wins over Seton Hall and Xavier. The Friars have great opportunities against Villanova and UConn to finish the regular season and hopefully solidify their NCAA tournament hopes. Third on our list is Villanova, who is the second team out of the tournament right now according to Lunardi. Villanova is favored by the metrics, ranking 32nd in the net despite just having a 16-12 record overall. Villanova has great wins, beating UNC on a neutral court, Creighton on the road, and beating other bubble teams in Providence and Seton Hall by double digits. Villanova's upcoming stretch, traveling to Providence and Seton Hall, then returning home to Philly to face Creighton in the final regular season game, will make or break their tournament hopes. Fourth on our list is St. John's. St. John's tournament hopes were diminishing just over a week ago, but thanks to a couple huge wins and Pitino's infamous press conference, the Red Storm are right back in the thick of bubble talk. The Johnnies picked up 2 Quad 1 wins over Creighton and Butler this past week and have winnable games on their schedule in DePaul and Georgetown. The dream of getting back to the NCAA tournament is doable and alive for the Red Storm. Our last team on the bubble watch are the Butler Bulldogs, who have been free-falling as of late. The Bulldogs have suffered 5 straight losses and are on the outside of the bubble looking in. However, there is a chance. The Bulldogs have defeated 2 top 15 teams on the road in Creighton and Marquette, which are great wins that are continuing to look better and better. The Dogs really need to run the table now and in the Big East tournament if they want to hear their name on Selection Sunday.
Thanks, Michael. In just a few short weeks, the NCAA men's basketball tournament will tip off. However, before we get into the madness, a hidden gem of the college basketball season will be taking place over the next 2 weeks. The 32 college basketball conferences will each hold their own tournament to decide their own champions, who will cut down the nets and also claim an automatic bid to the Big Dance. Conference Championship Week will tip off on Monday, March 4th, beginning with the Atlantic Sun Conference and go all the way until Selection Sunday, when the Ivy League, A10, SEC, AAC, and Big Ten tournaments conclude. I want to take a look at 2 of the most fun mid-major conferences and what's at stake heading into the week. The Missouri Valley Conference will tip off Arch Madness on March 7th. In what has been one of the most fun conferences to watch all season, there are multiple teams in the conference who not only have a chance to claim an automatic bid in winning their conference, but can also potentially claim an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. The MVC has 3 teams that have already won 20 games this season, and possibly 2 teams that will finish with 25 or more wins. The Indiana State Sycamores have already claimed the number 1 seed in Arch Madness, barring a massive change in the NCAA's net ranking. Led by Robbie Avila, who has been nicknamed Larry Nerd or Nerdy Bird due to their both attending Indiana State, the Sycamores have been one of the best stories in college basketball this year, sitting at 16-3 in conference play and 25-5 overall. The number 2 seed in the MVC will be the Drake Bulldogs, who have appeared in 3 straight MVC championship games and are the reigning MVC champions. Drake is led by Tucker DeVries, who averages 21.7 points per game, and they sit at 15-4 in conference play and 24-6 overall. The Bradley Braves will be the 3 seed in the MVC tournament with a 13-6 conference record and 21-9 overall record. Bradley lost to Drake in the NBC final last season and are looking for their first Arch Madness championship since 2020. All 12 teams in the conference will participate in the tournament, with the first 4 teams receiving a bye. Belmont, Southern Illinois, and Northern Iowa all sit tied for the 4 seed with 11-8 records. Southern Illinois and Northern Iowa meet on Sunday, March 3rd in their final regular season game that could decide who gets the final first-round bye in Arch Madness. The tournament begins on March 7th and concludes on March 10th. If Indiana State and Drake meet in the NBC final, there is a chance that both teams can find their way into March Madness with or without the automatic bid. The most wide-open and fun mid-major to talk about is the Mountain West Conference. Nicknamed the Mountain Best, this conference has 6 teams with 9, 10, or 11 wins in conference play, with still a week remaining in the regular season. The conference also currently has 6 teams with 20 or more wins. Boise State and Utah State sit tied for first place at 11-4, and San Diego State is right behind them at 11-5. Nevada and UNLV are tied at 10-5, and New Mexico sits at 9-6. If enough things fall crazily enough, this conference has potential for a 6-way tie at the top, with 6 teams finishing 12-6. What's interesting is that one of the better teams, Colorado State, who currently sit in 7th place with an 8-8 conference record, is not in the mix for first place, but could make just as much noise in the conference tournament as the 6 teams above them. Colorado State has lost 2 of its last 3 games at the buzzer. New Mexico beat Colorado State 68-66 thanks to a game-winning layup with 3 seconds left, and in their last game, Colorado State lost to Nevada on a half-court buzzer beater by Jared Lucas. Boise State, who would be the number 2 seed if the season ended today, have 3 games remaining, and all 3 are against top 6 teams in the conference. Boise plays New Mexico on Saturday night, Nevada on Tuesday night, and then San Diego State next Friday on March 8th. The top 5 teams in the conference receive a first-round bye. As of right now, nobody has clinched a spot in the top 5. However, with a win in each of their next games, Utah State, Boise State, and San Diego State can lock up a spot in the top 5 and a first-round bye. The Mountain West Tournament will take place from March 13th to 16th. While these conferences are some of the most fun to keep an eye on, the other 30 conference tournaments will each bring entertaining action throughout the next 2 weeks. Bubble teams beware. The bid stealers are out there, and remember, this is March.
Women's basketball rounds up their season this Saturday versus Marquette. Let's take a look at the matchup.
Coming off a big 73-70 win at DePaul Wednesday night, the Butler women's basketball team hopes to ride that momentum Saturday when they host Marquette on the team's senior night. Graduate transfer Rachel Kent and senior Caroline Strandy each scored 15 to lead the Bulldogs. Ari Wiggins gave the Bulldogs the lead when she recovered a loose ball and took it coast to coast before getting fouled and making one of her 2 free throws with 3.6 seconds left. The Golden Eagles are coming off a 56-50 home loss to St. John's Tuesday night during their senior night. Liza Carlin led Marquette with 15 points, while Bornaya Mayo led the Red Storm with 19 points. After the win against DePaul, Butler improved to 7-11 in conference play and 14-14 overall. They have won 4 of their last 5 conference games after starting 1-10. Freshman Riley Makalewski has played a major role in Butler's recent success, averaging 11.8 over the past 5 games, and was recently named Big East Freshman of the Week. Even after the loss to St. John's, Marquette is still 10-7 in conference play and 21-7 overall. Carlin leads the team with averages of 17.9 points and 7.7 rebounds. Slowing her down would be a major priority for the Bulldogs if they want to try and pull off the upset and make it an even more special night for the 5 seniors being honored.
Aside from basketball, the Butler lacrosse team season is underway. Last week, the team hosted 2 early season matchups. Let's take a look at those matchups and their upcoming game.
On Wednesday, the Bulldogs faced off against the Vanderbilt Commodores in an intense back-and-forth matchup. The game kicked off with Vanderbilt dominating the field, racing ahead with 4 straight goals, putting Butler on the back foot. But the Bulldogs refused to back down and recuperated. With an impressive surge, they clawed their way back into the game, netting 5 goals of their own and seizing the lead going into halftime. At the start of the second half, Butler maintained their momentum, trading goals with Vanderbilt but still holding on to a slim lead. With just under 10 minutes remaining, Butler held a 15-12 advantage, but in a turn of events, Vanderbilt launched a comeback, scoring 5 goals in the final minutes to secure a narrow 17-16 victory. Leah Rubino led the charge for Butler with an impressive 5 goals, supported by a strong offensive effort from Lucy Seelauder, Kayla Kilabasa, and Elise Latham. 4 days later, Butler faced a tough challenge against Cincinnati, aiming to bounce back from their last loss. Despite their best efforts, the Bulldogs struggled to find their footing, falling behind early as Cincinnati surged ahead with a commanding 5-0 lead. The Bulldogs were able to score 3 goals in the first half, but by the end, Cincinnati's defense proved too strong, holding Butler to 4 goals and giving Cincinnati the win. After these games, Butler is now 1-3. Despite these setbacks, the Bulldogs remain determined to bounce back as they prepare to go to Ohio State this Sunday.
For the 37th consecutive year, the NFL Combine is in Indianapolis. Let's send it over to Trevon, who had more information about the NFL Combine this weekend.
With the NFL season coming to a close, the teams are looking for new prospects to brighten up their seasons. Let's take a look and see what 3 prospects should be on their radar.
Let's jump right in at the top of the charts, where Caleb Williams seems to have the number 1 pick on lockdown. Throughout his time at Oklahoma and USC, he's shown the ability to make jaw-dropping plays and lead his team to victory. The dynamic quarterback has put his skills on display at the highest level amongst difficult teams. Williams is a dual-threat quarterback with a strong arm and exceptional athleticism. During Caleb's 2023 season, he finished with 3,633 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions, ranking 11th in the quarterback ranking. Caleb is nothing short of a star quarterback that will only climb as time goes on. Teams should be on the lookout for a great quarterback in the near future. Moving over to the perimeter, where the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. Marvin Harrison Jr., son of Hall of Famer Marvin Harrison. The 6'4", 205-pound wideout tallied up 67 receptions, 14 touchdowns, and averaged 18.1 yards on the season. Having 1,200-plus yards for his second season in a row, Harrison has the ideal size and speed teams are looking for on the perimeter. Harrison Jr. is a dynamic playmaker with the potential to be a game changer at the next level. Whether he's stretching the field with his speed or making tough catches in traffic, he is no doubt a guy to keep your eye on during the draft. With his dad being a Hall of Famer, things seem to come easy to him as he looks forward to being drafted next. Let's stay on the outside to highlight Rome Odunze out of Washington, who has the ability to be a reliable asset for teams in the air game. Throughout his time at Washington, Odunze has showcased his speed, agility, and playmaking ability, earning praises from coaches, teammates, and scouts alike. During the 2023 season, Odunze hauled in 92 receptions and 13 touchdowns, averaging 17.8 yards a carry, and having a total of 1,600-plus yards on the season. At 6'3" and with a solid build, Odunze has the physical tools to excel at the next level. He's shown a knack for making tough catches in traffic and has the ability to stretch the field and create big plays for his team. Odunze's combination of size, speed, and skill make him an intriguing prospect in the NFL draft. Odunze may not be the first receiver taken off the board, but he will indeed be an impactful player coming up in the next season.
To round out our show, we have Dog on the Street. Let's head outside with Noah to hear what students have to say about their favorite Butler basketball memories.
Welcome back to Dogs on the Street, where I go around asking Butler students different questions. This week, I'm going to be asking Butler students what their favorite Butler men's basketball memory is. Okay, today I'm here with
Wesley.
And Wesley, what is your favorite Butler basketball memory?
My favorite memory was when they won the NCAA tournament all those years ago. That was huge for me. It's part of the reason why I chose the school in the first place.
That's awesome. Thank you. All right, today I'm here with
Michael.
And Michael, what is your favorite Butler basketball memory?
Definitely sitting like second row and then seeing us beat Villanova in like double overtime.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Okay, so I'm here with
Tessa Fackrell.
And Tessa, what is your favorite Butler basketball men's memory?
My favorite Butler men's basketball memory is when they revealed the new Butler Blue. I was there on like a visit, and I like held him up like Simba, and it was really cute.
Yeah. I like the tribute to Lion King as well. All right, I'm here with
Pat.
And Pat, what is your favorite Butler men's basketball memory?
It would have to be the Butler Xavier game from last year when we beat them coming down to the wire.
And why is that?
Storming the court was just the best part. I mean, I always wanted to do that watching college basketball growing up, and it was amazing to experience it in real life.
That's so cool. Thank you. All right, today I'm here with
Gracie.
And Gracie, what is your favorite men's basketball memory?
My favorite men's basketball memory was probably last year when we beat Xavier, because we had some Xavier students in front of us and they were being pretty obnoxious, and then we won and it felt really good. Or we started winning and it felt really good, so it was really fun. And then we all rushed the court, so yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm here with
Brett.
And Brett, what is your favorite Butler men's basketball memory?
My favorite memory was probably when we beat Xavier last year and everyone stormed the court. It was just really exciting atmosphere, fun to be in.
Cool. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us on Dogs on the Street. We'll see you next time. Back to you guys.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of The Bark. Stay classy and go Dogs.